Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Game Junk Podcast, episode 156, recording on Sunday, June 25th, 2023. My name is Frank.
My name is Sean.
And my name is Andrew.
And we thought we were out of summer game month season, whatever we're calling it, but we're not. Nintendo announced a Nintendo Direct for last Wednesday, June 21st, and we'll be talking about it during today's episode. We just finished a marathon, like for Sean and I, 5 to 4 hours of, or 4 to 5 hours of a live stream for episode 900 of Film Junk on our Patreon. So,
yeah.
So it was nice that I then kept you waiting another extra hour before recording this. Now I feel even worse.
It was nice to have a bit of a breather. Don't get me wrong.
Sean and I were just sitting here like, I don't want to talk. We've been talking for the last 5 hours. But yeah, we never plug Film Junk. Maybe, I doubt there's any Game Junk listeners that don't listen to Film Junk, but there might be. So if you are, check out Film Junk as well. That's patreon.com/Film Junk or Film Junk on all your podcast apps. Okay. Nintendo Direct, June 21st or 6/21/2023. We're just going to burn through this with some exceptions that I think there's a little bit of meat on the bone. First, in true Nintendo fashion, starting off the show in a very bizarre way. It's like just this smash cut reel of context-less Pokemon Violet and Scarlet DLC footage, and like the teal mask and the indigo disc. Like, this means anything to most people on planet Earth. Very strange way to start a showcase. What did you guys think?
I agree. I was confused right from the get-go. I mean, I know a Pokemon Scarlet and Ruby or whatever the hell the games are called, but like I didn't know what they were talking about with this teal, whatever. I don't even remember what they're saying.
I know they're probably one of the highest grossing. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like the highest grossing franchise over the past couple decades, but there's still a better way to showcase this or do something. It was just like a dead drop almost. I don't know what else to call it. It was weird.
Well, I mean, I guess it's weird because it's DLC. Like, that's what you're starting your show with. But as you said, it very popular game franchise that just none of us really happen to play. So not really for us, I guess.
So the last one I played was Shield and Sword. And I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was basically the same game I remember back in the like Pokemon Yellow days. But yeah, I don't even know what the DLC, why you would be so interested in the DLC. But
I mean, it's not even out today or something. It's like future stuff. It's weird. I said, I don't even know what dead drop means. I looked it up. That's not what it is at all. So apologies. That was a completely misused term. It was poo. It was just poo.
It was dead on arrival. Is that what
dead on arrival? There we go. That's better. Okay. Next up was a game we saw last week or the week before, Sonic Superstars. And admittedly, I think this game looks like visually intriguing. I like the graphical style. It's colorful, polished. Maybe a little less so by the time we get to the end of the Direct, because I think Super Mario Brothers Wonder like destroys this visually and creatively. But it still looked decent. And the big announcement, I would say, is that it has 4-player local co-op. Before I give my thoughts on this, Sean, you're all about co-op. What did you think of Sonic Superstars? I
mean, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I mean, I'm not a big, I didn't have a Sega Genesis. I don't have the Sonic nostalgia, but this actually looks like kind of a fun Sonic game. And I think they didn't announce a date, but I think a date has been mentioned out in the wild. I can't find it though. October 17th is what it's rumored, but not official yet.
Lots of stuff in this Direct in that end of October window. Huck, any thoughts on Sonic Superstars?
No.
Okay. Moving on. The next was Palia, a free-to-play adventure sim. Definitely not moving the needle. Can barely remember anything about it.
Only thing I remember is seeing like a bunch of people running around with their little like name tags over their head, and they're like doing crafting-y type stuff and farming type stuff. And, it looks like a vanilla, like free to play farming building game.
Look, a lot of these low tier announcements in this direct, and some we've seen before that are still lingering around, that I can't believe they're getting this much exposure during these Nintendo Directs. Out of all those, I have to say this one, I actually deleted my note in my preparation and I already forgot the name. Was it Palia?
Palia.
This game made absolutely no impression on me whatsoever.
It is a cozy MMO, a cozy subgenre that's out there now. So,
all right, moving on. Persona 5 Tactica, which we had also seen. Don't know if we had an official release date of November 17th, which we now have. And it's on my list of shame, playing some Persona games. Huck, this is your genre. What did you think of? Is there anything new here or same old?
I didn't go back and like rewatch the original one, but it all looked pretty similar to me. Still interested, but I am definitely, I like to say I like the tactics games, but I've been finding I am not liking them as much lately, mainly because the time commitment that is needed for each battle. Like I recently got Tactics Ogre Reborn, and the first couple of battles, I thought they were great. But then after that, I'm just like, I have no real like desire to play this game anymore. And I was looking at the Nintendo Online stuff, and Fire Emblem just dropped for the GBA or something. I can't remember what it was for, but I'm kind of like, I've started this game so many times. I don't really want to start it again. I mean, I kind of like it, but at the same time, I always get to like the same, fourth or fifth battle in, lose a character, get pissed off, and then don't want to play anymore. So I'm interested to see how they bring that Persona charm into the game, and if they do anything to speed it up, or, how they change the gameplay around. Like, I think XCOM did a great job with this sort of like tactics genre, but that's sort of like the newest iteration that I like of this genre.
You still got to try Midnight Suns.
I do actually. Yeah. I do.
I like the art style for Tactica, but I feel like at this point, not about to enter the Persona world in this game. I'll pick something else.
Yeah. Pick Persona 5, I think is like the best entry point right now.
Yep. Sean, good to move on.
Yeah, nothing to say on it. I do want to try a Persona game at some point, but it won't be this one.
Next was a very pleasant surprise. I don't know if we've seen or heard of this game before. I hadn't personally, called Myth Force. And it was like branded as this homage to Saturday morning cartoons of 4-player first-person roguelike with an art style that is drawing inspiration from Saturday morning cartoons like He-Man, Thundercats, stuff like that. And I thought this looked incredible. I wish listed it right away. Noticed there was a demo for it. I played the demo on Steam, and I have to say, art style wise, aesthetics, I think they absolutely crushed it. They really captured it. They had an opening theme song. I spent a lot of time listening to covers of 80s cartoon theme songs. So I thought they really nailed that aspect of it and the visual aspect. But gameplay, it's very early. I would say, I think they might have said 2024 at the earliest. I wouldn't be surprised if it went into early access, because in the main menu, it said early access build number or something like that in the text. So that might be coming.
So in the Nintendo Direct, it did say available 2023.
Oh, really?
That's what it says. Yeah.
Well, the gameplay needs some polish for sure. The core, the foundation is there, but presentation wise, polish wise, a little rough around the edges, which is to be expected at this point. But this game was not on my radar And I wouldn't be surprised if they got a lot of wish lists and interest based on this Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, visually looked really cool. Definitely seemed, out of all of the Saturday morning cartoons, it seemed like the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon in
Yeah,
particular
that too, for sure.
was an inspiration. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I guess roguelike always is like kind of a turnoff for me lately, but I'll give it a shot for sure.
Yeah, I definitely like the art style. The gameplay, though, I think it did not look great to me. There's a lot of fast cuts, a lot of like, shoot the bow and arrow or something, and then kind of like smash away to something else. So I wasn't totally sold. And if it's just like a dungeon crawler, almost like Skyrim, but with this cartoony style, with buddies, it might be fun. But I don't know. I'm not a multiplayer guy anymore, so that's not really going to be my jam, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, when I was playing the demo, I mentally was, but I could write a list of notes, polish items. Like if I was working on this game, it would be very easy to isolate ideas and things that are going to take this game to the next level. So I trust the team will be able to do that as well. I just hope they have the time. Okay, moving on, some Splatfest tournament for Splatoon announcements. And then rolling into a Detective Pikachu game. Now, I'm embarrassed to say this. Was there a Detective Pikachu game before or just the movie?
There was a game before, I think,
before the movie?
Yeah, I think it was for 3DS.
Okay, so is this a remake or a new Detective Pikachu game?
This is a new one. This one's called Detective Pikachu Returns, I believe.
Okay, well, we do remakes and HD remasters. We got Dark.
No, I hear you.
We just mentioned Dark Moon coming up. I don't know, Sean.
I mean, that definitely was a thought through this whole Direct, was like, wow, Nintendo is really leaning hard into the remake stuff, like more than ever before.
Yeah. So looks like an adventure game, detective game of some sort. Really tough to tell based on the footage that was shown exactly what the gameplay is. Huck, Mr. Detective, what are you saying, bro?
I have no idea what this game is. I didn't even know there was an original that this game was kind of taking off of. I thought it was just the movie. So I don't know. I'm trying to get caught up on like what the 3DS game was. I still, after watching half of the trailer here, I still don't know what it is. So it looks maybe just like a little adventure game where you go and talk to people. So I'm not really that into adventure games these days. So I would say I'm not that interested at this point in time. I could be persuaded, though. You never know.
Next was a rumored announcement, not the game, but an NES game getting a major remake. We had heard about that. And Super Mario RPG, a game I've never played, always wanted to. I think I might have started it on Virtual Console a couple of times. I might as well reveal an embarrassment thing for me. My whole life, probably up until a couple of years ago, I thought Squaresoft made the Super Mario RPG and just like let Nintendo publish it because they owned Mario. But it's just a Nintendo game, right? There's no other.
No, I thought Square Enix or Enix did it, or Square back in the day.
I thought so too, but I don't think
so.
So I just watched the end title credit, and in the corner it says copyright Nintendo / Square Enix.
Oh shit! Maybe I was right the whole time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Myself.
Square was the developer, so that was before Square Enix.
Oh my!
Yeah,
you know what I meant. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Shit. I'm so pleased.
I had no idea, because the whole thing is this was kind of the start of all of their like Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, like all those things kind of came after this. But as far as I know, this is the only one Square was involved in.
Ever since EGM had reviewed this, I got amazing reviews, and I just didn't get RPGs then. Now I do. So I personally am extremely excited for this remake. I've already pre-ordered it. I will say vouchers are usable on this game. So
I might have to do that because I got a voucher kicking around.
I was curious because they had a list of voucher games when they announced them. And I was like, are they going to just let me use these for all these upcoming games? And they did. I used them for this and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Cool.
The vouchers are still for sale.
Well, as a guy who has beaten this game multiple times, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I'm embarrassed that I'm embarrassed for you, Frank.
You should be. I'm embarrassed for
But it's a really incredible game, and still, I think the battle mechanics still stand up. It has a timing based mechanic, so it's not your typical, turn-based RPG where you're sitting and just watching. There is a timing mechanic to your attacks to get a critical attack. And once you kind of master that, it's fun to play and it keeps you engaged. So I'm looking forward. And from the footage, I mean, it looks really nice and pretty faithful to what I remember of the original. I like how they kept the kind of like isometric viewpoint. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's pretty cool. And I'm definitely going to use a voucher on this bad boy.
20-hour game as well. Like sometimes,
yes.
So it's doable.
There were some slow sections in the game from what I remember, and some kind of like awkward sections that aren't that fun. But all the characters are neat, and they introduce like a couple of characters that you never seen before. Mallow and
I got a note here. Mallow, I love Mallow.
Yeah, and Gino, I think, is the other character, the wizardy guy. Yeah, Mallow. He's got the big like hands that come out.
I am 100% in on Mallow. Maybe a plush version of Mallow. Didn't look at it, but I love the art style as well. I think the new art style, an obvious comparison would be Link's Awakening remake, where they took an older game and updated the graphics completely. I prefer the art style of this way more than the Link's Awakening. I know a lot of people like the Link's Awakening art style. I was not as crazy about it, but this one looks awesome.
Yeah, I like the look of it. This is a game I wanted to play as well. The one thing though, I mean, the vouchers are obviously a great way to get it. If you don't use the vouchers, it is a $80 game, I believe. Like
it's a regular price game.
Yeah, whatever that is for Nintendo.
Which that's their normal price.
Yeah.
Zelda, yeah. Oh, you're saying it's back to normal. They didn't take the Tears of the Kingdom bump and apply it.
Well, no, I'm saying it's still more expensive than I would have thought for like a remake.
That's what Link's Awakening was. It was 80.
Yeah,
I was just glad to see Wonder and this. I thought with the Tears of the Kingdom, like $10 increase, they were going to start doing that with all major releases. And
right, yeah,
maybe not this game, but Wonder for sure. I was expecting to be 90, and it's not. So not bad. I would not have expected that from Nintendo, to be perfectly honest. Next up, a very brief peek at a Peach game. I've got Peaches, the song from movie stuck in my head whenever I see that. And really tough to tell what this game is. There's almost nothing. She steps on a platform, her dress changes. I assume it's some kind of platformer, maybe something more puzzle based like Captain Toad, but not a lot to go on. It was like they flashed 10 seconds of footage and acknowledged that there's not a lot to show.
Yeah, it is coming 2024. But I mean, it's a bit surprising. I think there's only been one other Princess Peach game in the past.
She's right here.
Frank's a big Princess Peach fan, but yeah, I think there was a DS game, like a platformer, and that's the only one that is her sort of headlining the game. So it's about time they did one, really.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. Like, I can't believe this has not happened yet.
Yeah.
I thought what they did show, the art style looked nice and, potential, definitely potential, but like you guys, there's nothing there.
Look, for as much as we shit on, or I should say I shit on Nintendo stuff, their graphics always like defaulting to style over like technical aspects for the most part. It's a pretty good decision. Like, their games are timeless visually. I've been playing Pikmin 1 and it still holds up for the most part. Like I'm never like, ugh, this is so grotesque. Like that game's 20 years old and it still looks good. So, for all the complaints about Nintendo, they absolutely crush art style. The best in the biz.
Yep.
That's why I'd like to see them work with even better technology and still do that. Next, another remake remaster, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, coming in 2024. I'm going to skip over some of this stuff and group this with the Pikmin 1 and 2 HD remasters as well, which were announced that day, and they both released that day. If you buy them together, it's quite a substantial discount. If you buy the 2-game package, it's still cheaper than a full release game. But the reason I'm grouping these two announcements together, whenever I see like Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4, I always think I just kind of want to go back and do the whole series, and it's like there's not a great way to do it. And when I see the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I'm like, man, I want to go back and play Luigi's Mansion 1. So it seems weird to me that they didn't start with Luigi's Mansion 1 and build up to that or do something similar. And I just wish they had done that. I like this idea that Nintendo is, over time, I'm guessing their next console will be backwards compatible, like just building a definitive library for every Nintendo game of note ever. And I feel like we're heading in that direction, and I think that's a really smart strategy. I just wish they would have done the first Luigi's Mansion.
I mean, it would be nice. It's just like the virtual console has been so slow getting stuff out there, like especially like now that they're doing the Game Boy Advance and all that kind of stuff. Like,
but that's the thing, there isn't a virtual console for Luigi's Mansion.
Right. Well, so the weird thing with that one, it came out on GameCube. They actually did a remake of it already for the 3DS,
which I was playing last year, and it's annoying to play on a 3DS.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, it's an old game, obviously, but yeah, Pikmin 1 and 2 HD remasters. I've been playing the shit out of Pikmin all week since this dropped. I beat Pikmin 1 already and got every part on the ship, and I had a lot of fun, although it is frustrating. It's
and all without achievements. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a waste of time. But it is a fun game. Pathfinding for the Pikmin, like I feel like they like that it's frustrating to deal with Pikmin at sometimes, and I don't know. When I first played Pikmin, I didn't understand it was a casual real-time strategy game in some ways, like a very approachable version of that, or for kids. And now that I have a little more exposure to that genre, I appreciate Pikmin a lot more. And I've started Pikmin 2, but these GameCube games hold up, and I hope they keep doing stuff like this. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of tempted to pick them up as well. I never played them. But the weird thing was between this, well, I kind of missed this announcement. We were talking about it before the show, but the Pikmin 4 trailer that they showed, I was watching it and thinking, this looks cool. But I was also thinking, I really like, I want to play Tinykin again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. Like I'm more interested in Pikmin now, having played Tinykin, but I'm like, is Pikmin just as good as Tinykin? Like, I don't even
know. Tinykin is better, but
interesting.
Pikmin is really fun. Like Tinykin's more of a platformer. Pikmin is more of a strategy.
Okay.
Like you don't jump. There's no there's a mild action influence for aiming and throwing the Pikmin, but that's about it. It's not about like precision. It's time management and resource management ultimately. Okay, next up, the Arkham trilogy is coming to the Switch this fall. Everyone was super pumped about this, and it just in the chat, people were losing their shit. And then they saw at the end what everyone is thinking when they watch this: gameplay footage not final. The last note, no shit. This is not what this game is going to look like. Is this going to be a streamed version? I can't see this game running on the Switch, and we'll see. I don't think it's going to look too good. I see the release of this game, especially, I didn't even think about this until right now. Warner Brothers' recent track record with making money and shipping subpar projects. This game is going to get destroyed when it gets released.
Are they still doing like cloud-based games for the Switch? Is that still
I
a
think
thing?
so, but this is not that. I don't think.
Hmm.
Unless maybe they do one of the like Arkham Asylum on the Switch and the other one's cloud-based. Oh God, that would be such a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them just totally redoing all the environments to be basically just like boxes to get it to run, but we'll see. It could happen. Could happen.
Okay, I'm about to go into rapid fire mode. I'm going to list a bunch of absolute trash, and you guys let me know if you have any comments about any of them when I'm done. Gloomhaven, a game based on the board game, persistent board game, I think, coming. Just Dance 2024. Silent Hope, a mid-looking game that I don't remember at all. Fae Farm, another simulator that I've seen probably 5 times now, still don't care. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Manic Mechanics, which looked a bit like a Overcooked moving out type of game. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC, Dragon Quest Monsters. I think that's it for that section. Any of those games interest you guys?
Not really. I do kind of remember something about Manic Mechanics looking kind of fun, but I'm just trying to look it up again. I don't really remember.
It's a conveyor belt. Everyone's trying to grab parts off it and fix them.
Yeah, it might be all right.
Yeah, nothing really for me. I mean, probably that Manic Mechanic would be the closest thing, but I do think it's just a reskin of Overcooked.
Yeah, I can't remember if Silent Hope or Fae Farm. I think it's Fae Farm that showcased co-op gameplay for this sim. But still,
sure.
I still don't give a shit about the game, but it maybe they're pushing this game hard. Maybe they know it's good. I don't know. It's weird how much this game comes up.
I feel like Fae Farm might be a Toronto studio. Let me just look that up quickly.
Phoenix Labs, Vancouver, it says.
Okay, maybe not.
Former
Maybe
Riot
not.
game developers.
No, that's not what I was thinking.
Clearly not my genre or storytelling world, whatever, but who knows? Okay. Next was Pikmin 4 footage, which, having just played Pikmin, I was surprised how similar, like it's all the same enemies, but it just looks better. I don't think that's bad, by the way. It was just interesting to me that, wow, I've fought a lot of these enemies already in recent games, and who knows? If Pikmin 2 grabs me the way Pikmin 1 did, I might make my way through the entire series and voucher Pikmin 4 in July.
Yeah, it's the only big Nintendo game coming out this summer, I think, right? So
to be fair, they did have Tears of the Kingdom there.
Yeah.
They had a pretty major release recently, but Pikmin 4, the art style is great. I do love it, and I love the look of Pikmin. We'll just see if I can make it through 3 previous entries before this one.
They will have to like fight through their walls of money to hit the release button of this game. So, you know, it might not get there.
Next, just an update on Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 1 coming October 24th. First 3 Metal Gear Solid games and the PC Engine and NES versions of the original games. I think there was also a leak this week about what's in the second collection.
Really?
Yeah, one of the games, I think.
Oh, it also has Snake's Revenge, Metal Gear 2 for NES.
Yeah. I did think they showed strategy guides and images of like maps of levels. I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know if I'd actually do it inside a game, but that was a feature I haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I think you brought this up in the Discord, but no, no twin snakes. I mean, I guess that's the appeal. Maybe is it's like just the original, but kind of surprising.
Yeah, I thought it might be in the second collection, was what I speculated on the Discord. But apparently, the leak was Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots. That's what was getting the news because it's never been on anything but PlayStation 3 before. Peace Walker, Phantom Pain, and that's all that was
Ground
leaked.
Zeroes.
It doesn't look like it's here, but I would be surprised if it isn't, to be honest. Hey, that game got an 8.5 from IGN, and it was a really good game for $40.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a joke. Also speculating Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, maybe some other stuff. So, okay. Next up, Vampire Survivors.
Game of the year.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of sick of announcements for this game, but it did announce couch co-op. I would do that. I would get down on some
Yeah, it could be fun.
Vampire Survivors couch co-op. And the next was actually the second pleasant surprise for me from this. It's Headbangers Rhythm Royale, where you play as pigeons and do different rhythm games. And as the announcer said,
sounds pretty cool.
It does actually look pretty good. I can't believe there haven't been rhythm game battle royales. I think it's like different rhythm games is a new take on battle royales, which I'm interested in. And I loved the art style. I thought I was going to laugh this game off when I heard that sound clip. I'm like, what are we doing here? What is this direct? And I thought it looked awesome.
I think, did we not see this somewhere else like last week or something?
Might have. It's on Steam. I did wishlist it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I saw it somewhere before, and it does look interesting. I think when the first time I saw the trailer, I think I thought it was more of like a Fall Guys mini game type thing,
which it is.
It is, but like I didn't like the rhythm element. I'm kind of like I could go either way on. Like I feel like I would have just been more excited if it was just pure mini games, but maybe that's the unique thing about it. I don't know.
I do like rhythm games. Doing that online, like the timing and calibration might cause issues, but that reminds me, I forgot to say with Sonic Superstars, my only observation about that game. Look, Sonic's a nightmare to know what's happening and where you're going in single player. How are they going to do 4-player Sonic at the same time? Like that's
I don't know.
Well, that Sonic Mania game had co-op, and I tried co-op, and it was a disaster because it's like the one person is just constantly being warped to where the other person is.
Yeah, and when I saw the footage, I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna like one person is the driver essentially, and the other characters do stuff around them, almost like the Wiimote Mario Galaxy. Like people do busy work and movement is specified to Sonic or something like that. But I mean, just think of all the failed game modes of Sonic games. I remember being so excited for the race split screen mode in Sonic 2. And I tried to force feed it because Sonic 2 was my most anticipated game, possibly of all time. I was like, this is really cool. Meanwhile, deep in my heart, I knew this is complete ass. Why am I lying to the world, to myself, to all my friends? It sucks. And I assume the same thing is going to be true for co-op Sonic Superstars. Anyway, Headbangers Rhythm Royale. What a gem.
Yep. Could be fun.
Agreed. I think it's got high potential. Sounds pretty cool.
And the next, actually, I lied. There's a third pleasant surprise. Penny's Big Breakaway, which apparently is from a team that also worked on Sonic Mania, but this is more of a 3D, like I wouldn't say 3D platformer, but like kind of isometric with going in and out of the screen, a character with a big yo-yo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, hadn't heard of this game. Oh, this is the one that's 2024. Loved everything in this trailer. I am fully in on Penny's big breakaway.
Yeah, this one was a highlight for sure. And this was, I think, the first I had heard of it. I don't know if I had seen that one anywhere else. So definitely looking forward to it.
I really like the cartoons, but the gameplay itself didn't grab me as much as it grabbed you guys. I felt like you were really far away from the action for a lot of the like platforming, swinging, yo-yo stuff that the character was doing. And I don't know, I wasn't totally sold, but I like the idea. I thought the character looked cool and looked kind of interesting, but I'm cautiously optimistic on this one.
Yeah, I'm digging everything I see about it. I kind of liked that the camera was distant in the sense that that's always the problem with Sonic games. And I think these developers know. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe that was like a Sega thing. Like, don't pull the camera out too far for Sonic, because it needs to. And I don't know. I'm in. Can't wait.
Yeah. The only thing is, I got the feeling this was like
it's coming to Steam as well, so you can wish.
I was just gonna say, like, it felt like it was in a 3D space, so having the camera pulled out makes like controls a little more iffy as to like what direction you're actually pressing the stick when the camera pulls out like that. Whereas Sonic's always kind of on a 2D plane, so you always know press to the right is forward, basically. So that's what had me a little bit concerned, like especially when the camera was even kind of like rotating around as like some of the swinging was going on.
And when Penny goes around a corner at one point and reverses direction, it looked smoother than I would expect that transition to be. So I was kind of thinking, oh, this might be good. They handled that weird situation pretty well camera wise. Now, to your point, like it might not control that well in that scenario, but
yes,
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, it's cool. It's decent. And moving on, Mario Kart DLC Wave 5, which looked pretty good. Nothing huge there. Next was Star Ocean, the second story R. And this game is also coming to Steam. I looked it up because I really liked the art style. I thought it looked really neat. And I was not aware of the first one. I can't remember the exact title, but I was hoping that was on Steam and I was going to buy it, but it's not. I think the first remake is only on the Switch.
Is it called First Departure?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about Star Ocean. Huck, I'm looking at you. What's this?
So I've played almost all of the Star Oceans to some degree, except the newest ones. But they always kind of follow the same formula. They kind of like trick you with this awesome, we're going to go on this cool cosmic adventure through the stars. And then basically the first thing that happens is you crash on a planet. And then you spend your whole time on that planet. So it's not really like a big space exploration game in that regard. But usually I think what I like about these games, these earlier games, is the like action battles, right? They're not they're not turn-based. It's like an action game, more like turn-based or random turn-based, not random. I keep saying turn-based, random action battles. And that was pretty good. You had kind of like moves you could use and stuff throughout them and magic points those would use. And also, like you were saying, I really like this art style. It's a little bit Octopath Traveler inspired, but they go kind of full 3D backgrounds with then the more pixelated like sprite work almost. So it's like a kind of unique blend. It is kind of jarring though, because the backgrounds are so almost like hyper realistic, and then you have these like obvious like 2D sprites walking around in the world. So I was a little jogged by that, but I thought it looked pretty cool too. I'm interested.
Yeah. What consoles were Star Ocean 1, like the originals, and 2, were they on?
Well, I know there was like a remake for PSP, I think. or Vita. I can't remember which one.
I think
So it'd be
according to this,
before
it
that.
says PS1 was the
PS1?
first one.
First Star Ocean?
That sounds right. Yeah. Because they were Square Enix games, I believe, like after Super Nintendo and stuff like that. And definitely after N64 days as well.
Oh, and First Departure was on. Oh, that's on PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 4 as well. So maybe I can check it out on there.
Okay. PSP is the one that's the one I was thinking of for PSP.
Oh, it was originally on Super Famicom. I don't know if it made it to North America.
Oh, okay.
So that could be why I've never really heard of it before. Okay, cool. Next, WarioWare Move It. Sean, this is all you, bud. You in? $64.99. Don't waste a voucher on it, whatever you do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I've enjoyed most of these games. The last one they did, I did play a bit of it, and it was kind of a different style. Like it was mini games, but you had like an actual player that you controlled that did stuff in the levels. It's kind of hard to describe, but it wasn't like the standard WarioWare mini games. This is kind of back to that, but it's got multiplayer as well, which I always have found works well with WarioWare. So I'm excited.
I might pick it up. It looked kind of fun. Not sold on the physical aspect of it yet, but hopefully it works.
Looks like it's, according to this, 2 players, not 4 players. I thought
There's
it might
a 4-player
like
party mode though.
there is. Oh, okay.
It's like almost a Mario Party. They should do a Mario Party parody. Like,
well, that's what like there was some stuff in there that I was like, oh, is this like an actual like a Wario Party game? Like that would be cool, just flat out calling it that and kind of combining the two. It didn't really seem like it fully committed to that, but it could be.
I think I haven't played that many Mario Party games, but I think there are a lot of common criticisms and things people make fun of in that series. And I think if they leaned into that and made some jokes about it, it could be pretty funny. I doubt they will though. Next, Tears of the Kingdom amiibos, Zelda and Ganondorf. Huge news.
Still waiting for Raru.
Yeah, Raru, baby. And finally, the announcement of the show, I would say, also rumored earlier in the week, a new 2D Super Mario Brothers. I think they were even speculating in the style of Nintendo Power covers. But something I don't know if I buy. I didn't get that sense. Everyone, like, I saw that people talking about, oh, it's like an old Nintendo Power cover, the art style. I personally don't see that, but I love the name Wonder. They're so good at naming Mario games. Like, is there a better series for naming themselves? Like, they're all the same game and they always come up with some hook. Like Odyssey, such a good name.
Well, I don't know about New Super Mario Brothers. It's not the best.
The worst name in the history of it. But this idea of the wonder coins or power-ups where you don't know what it's going to do when you get it, like, and when they showed the like Donkey Kong Country throwback where it's shadows art style, those huge things that were rolling around, all the enemies were gave me more Super Mario World vibes than New Super Mario Brothers vibes. So I thought this game looked incredible.
Yeah, that's kind of what I liked about it is like people seem very divided on the New Super Mario Bros series in general. And I guess I would say they're not really my favorites. There's some good stuff in there, but I don't think I've finished any of them for sure. And this seemed like it's 2D, with some new ideas, new costumes and things like that. But it did also seem to be taking from some of the world games, which I appreciated. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I must say the animation and just like the character like of the animation and the models are so good. I couldn't believe how much detail is in all of Mario's moves, like the run. They even put in those little quirks. I don't know if that's just like for the cinematic where he like goes to the pipes and his hat kind of lags behind him and he grabs it and pulls it through kind of thing. Like just kind of stuff like that. Even when he was like doing the jump and the run and like all of his stuff was just, there was so many frames of animation there. You could tell it was just so fluid and so detailed. And I was just so impressed with how this game looked. Even when he like went into that shadow world and kind of like elongated form, like even that in a silhouette looked so polished. Like you guys said, it's like the same kind of like 2D Mario game, but then they throw this almost like psychedelic like fever dream on top of it, and it becomes this new awesome thing that everyone wants to play. It's like amazing that they could come up with these ideas and all this other stuff to throw at it and still make it, interesting for people.
Yeah, I would add, I love your take on like the polish level. And I'm looking at a screenshot right now that really stood out to me in motion, which is it's like this pipe enemy or creature that's like animating that Mario's riding.
Like an inchworm, the one that's like an inchworm.
Yeah. And then this is such a small thing, but the collectibles, those purple collectibles, like the way they're textured and have a subtle animation and reflect light, like just something that small looks so good. And when I see stuff like that, I'm pretty convinced this game is going to be incredible.
And I haven't played any of the new Super Mario games, but just the way they play with like foreground and background elements, there's like a case where he jumps and kind of goes behind like a cloud or something and then comes back down behind it. Like I don't know if any other previous Mario games or 2D Mario games have played with that sort of, foreground background layering. And I think it gives it a really cool, look and perspective. And they kind of did the like climbing the water and stuff or swimming up the waterfall kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It looked really cool.
Now, the big thing everyone was losing it over, of course, was Sean.
Elephant Mario.
Elephant Mario. I knew he'd know. And I have to say, I like the look of Elephant Mario. When I saw just a snippet of gameplay, not impressed. He just punches stuff. Like, we got to do better than this. And I, of course, thought of Tembo the Badass Elephant, which released on Xbox One and PS4. That captured feeling like an elephant. So we got some work to do, Nintendo. But let me say this. I think Nintendo will figure it out. I have complete faith. The only thing I'll tell you, if you're watching or listening, Miyamoto, don't do a thing where you blow with the elephant's trunk on things. like just have the elephant moving. I don't want to stop and make trunk sounds. Go, baby. Elephants want to just rush that level. They want it just like Tembo did. So get it right. If there's anything that gave me concern, it was just that little tease at the end. Not definitive elephant gameplay. Okay.
And also, just to correct the record a little bit, the elephant didn't punch anything. It trunk slapped the shit out of that thing.
All right, you're right. So you know. You're right. I'm wrong. But it was the essence of punching. It wasn't that interesting.
Fair enough.
I didn't feel like I was expecting mechanic where you like control the trunk or aim it or do something with the right stick.
Spray some water around.
Who knows? But what I saw was perhaps intentionally withholding the majesty of Elephant Mario. That's debatable. I hope that's the case. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. October 23rd when this game releases. We're getting it this year. Vouchers apply. Already pre-ordered mine. So I should say, I meant to lead the show with this. When I was talking about last week, we thought we were done, and Ubisoft finally won. They won a Summer Games Month. And then Nintendo came along. He's like, guess what? We still haven't gone yet, Ubisoft. And here we go. So I think I gave Ubisoft a B plus. Maybe
no.
I think
you gave it a B. I gave it a B plus. I believe.
Sean,
So.
you gave it a C plus. I think
I think you gave it a B minus.
I gave Ubisoft B minus.
And I gave Ubisoft a B plus.
Okay. So we must give our letter grades to see who the victor is. Sean, you may go first.
Well, I think I'm giving it a B. But the question is, I don't remember what I gave Sony. So I think I may have given Sony a C plus.
I think you gave it a C minus.
No. I'm pretty sure I gave Sony some kind of B, but
I was wrong. Huck, how about you? Sorry, you look dude.
I think I'm going to give it a B as well. So I would say Ubisoft still has my title.
Now, Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks incredible. I'm loving Pikmin 1 and 2. And Super Mario RPG is a big announcement. The rest of this was a lot of garbage and filler. I lied again. 3 pleasant surprises.
There's some stuff in there.
But not necessarily Nintendo exclusive surprises. Whew, this is tough. I'm giving it a B.
Consensus.
Now, who won?
So it's a tie. It's a tie.
Is
Ubisoft and Nintendo.
For consistency and presentation, I would actually give it to Ubisoft. They would still win my.
I still think Ubisoft has the 2 biggest games that I'm the most excited to play. But I mean, Super Mario Brothers Wonder is definitely up there. I'm trying to remember what the hell Sony had. They had a couple. I mean, obviously Spider-Man 2, but they had some stuff, I thought.
It's also, I didn't even throw this wrinkle in, Sean. Nintendo's games are coming out in like 3 or 4 months, and we hadn't heard of them. It's like you're going to get to play these right away. Prince of Persia's 2024. I'm expecting at least a month.
January 2024.
I'm expecting a month delay on that, and who knows for Outlaws 2025, I guess. But this is tough. But Ubisoft, we got to go with the underdog for once. If it's close, Ubisoft gets it, and I get to say Ubisoft again. And
really, they're kind of coming at it with fresh eyes of stuff. I mean, I know there's a lot of remakes, but I mean, you can't really say the Prince of Persia is a remake. You can basically say every Mario game is
that's true.
Remake. Yep. You can kind of say the Super Mario RPG is a direct remake.
Yeah, good point. I like where you're at, and I'm going to add in the absolute bizarre disaster that was the Pokemon DLC opening. That's going to push it. And hey, you know what? I'm going to keep going. Even Ubisoft pushed Just Dance material into the pre-show. They knew the world.
Wow.
They put it in the pre-show, and
they
then
so much
included it in this. So it's actually a debacle.
And you know what?
Destroyed Nintendo.
I must say, Frank, when we were talking about Ubisoft, I don't recall having to fast forward through multiple games because they were so uninteresting that we just wanted to get to the next stuff.
Fair enough. You're also coming in a little hot on this one. So
very hot. Hey, I'm fresh. Super fresh.
Good way to put it.
Okay. So that's it. That's a wrap on summer game announcement.
Well, hold on there, Frank. We got the Annapurna showcase coming up this
I feel like there was another one that I saw rumblings of. Was there a
THQ Nordic one this week?
A Sonic one, wasn't there?
What?
A Sonic showcase? Sonic the Hedgehog?
Oh, I don't know. I saw something about THQ Nordic. I just didn't know where that came from.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm drawing a line in the sand. We're done. Okay. It's over. Anything that happens in the future doesn't mean we can't give it letter grades. doesn't mean we can't look. First of all, Annapurna said we're doing our showcase later, like the end of June. So you blew your announcement. That's it. That's your inclusion into Summer Game Month announcement. So you're out, but we will watch it and talk about it because there's nothing else to do. All right, that's it. We're done. What did we play? Anything? I can hear the listeners out there saying, what about Final Fantasy 16, Frank and Huck and Sean? Sean isn't as big into Final Fantasy as we are. And I was talking just how great the demo was, how much I loved it, and I was excited to play it. Well, Frank, how come you're not playing that and you're playing Pikmin 1 instead if Final Fantasy 16 is so good? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Final Fantasy 16 has a lot of cutscenes. And when you're trying to catch up on podcasts and TV shows, it's not fun to pause things and go back and forth. And I had a backlog I was trying to get through. So I was like, I'm just going to get all of this podcast and whatever off of my backlog and beat Pikmin 1, which was wonderful. I really enjoyed Pikmin 1, but I've still put about 5 hours into Final Fantasy. I actually went back and replayed the demo. And I'm really glad I did, because there were story elements that I completely missed the first time playing the demo. And I feel like I've got a much better foundation in the core story elements. But I'm still really liking the combat and visuals in Final Fantasy 16, and I will play the shit out of it in the upcoming weeks. Sean, you checked out the demo?
Yeah, I played a bit of it. Just quick thoughts. I mean, definitely a lot of cutscenes, definitely getting heavy Game of Thrones vibes from the whole thing. I don't know if that really has any relation to other Final Fantasy games. It seems like it's kind of a new tone and
it's definitely there.
Yeah. I did like the combat, did a couple of the bigger boss battles, and I'm like, if this is like the first couple like bosses or mini bosses in the game and it takes quite a while to beat these guys, like what am I going to be doing at the end of this game? Like it's going to be, I don't know. I don't like boss fights that take half an hour. Like that's not that fun to me, but
half an hour.
Yeah.
What took you half an hour?
Metroid Prime.
No, what boss is in the demo?
No, I'm just saying these ones took 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's
but like these are the first bosses in the game, and if that's what if it's always going to be that length, okay, that's reasonable. But I'm just imagining it's going to get longer and bigger.
Okay, well, I expect this type of criticism for the final boss in Zelda, which are Tears of the Kingdom, which is also a very extended boss.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, and I'm right there. I'm basically about to beat the game, so I'll report back on
it's
that.
One of the best bosses climaxes ever.
Okay. But what else? I mean, I guess okay. The cutscenes, you can skip the cutscene, but there's no.
No, you can, but what? How you can? You're not allowed. You can.
Well, but are there is there dialogue that you can skip? How do I put this?
Okay, there are non-cutscenes that are like a dialogue system.
Okay.
For side quests and small stuff that you can skip through.
Okay, that's good, because I was just through the demo, I was just getting that impression of like, man, I want to just like at least read the dialogue, but like skip through the delivery of it, and everything was like full cinematic.
And I think I can't remember what it's called. I don't know if you experimented with this, Sean. Is it Active Battle Lore or something like that? The name of the system.
Yeah. I saw
Active
that.
Time Lore, where if you hold down the touchpad during cinematics, it'll give you a little more context to who the characters are, which I really like, especially for the start of the game. If I missed something in a previous cinematic or wasn't paying attention, and like that's a really nice feature. And it's still not that long. It's not like it's 20 paragraphs to read. It's like a nice summary. for things. So if you did want to skip cinematics, that might be a reasonable substitute.
Yeah, that's I didn't really check that out, but that's a good idea. Yeah, but anyway, I was kind of enjoying it. I definitely could see myself playing this game. It's just, I have a few other things I really want to get to first, so we'll see where it ends up.
I love the menus. I love the music. I love the interface elements for completing quests, and the gameplay's not enthralling, but everything else I really enjoy.
It looks gorgeous. Like, just in general, visuals, I was pretty impressed.
Any updates? You said on our text messaging, it's definitely a buy. Have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't touched it yet. Unfortunately,
It's
on my list. No, not yet. No, I will. I will though. I've got all these PC Optimum points saved up. I need to go buy some gift cards.
Now we're talking.
Well, I guess I could just go to Shoppers and buy the Shoppers too.
Yeah.
Although I want a digital copy. I'm not in this physical bullshit.
I'm with you. I don't know. I'm not going to go down the Optimum road right now. We're at an hour. We're done. Okay. Thanks for listening or watching on youtube.com/GameJunk. That's it for this week. Who knows what the future will bring? Maybe some surprise showcases that will not be included in the official letter grades and winners and losers. So thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.